Alright, moving to the next thing. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1. I have seen so much go on between these two, and information has just been released about this. I think it's hilarious because if you go onto YouTube and you look at the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer, there's about 500,000 people that have disliked the video. And I don't like Call of Duty anymore. Um, I stopped being a fan of it after Modern Warfare 2. Everything else afterward kind of makes me just sad. That made me laugh so hard when I saw that because the amount of likes compared to the dislikes, there's a 300,000 like difference. And that's a bad sign. Like, what? And then to go even further along with that, in the trailer, they also announced that they were going to be releasing a Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare, the fourth Call of Duty game. They're going to be making a remastered version. It looks great. It's up to date with graphics. I would personally get it. Here's the thing. The only way you can get it is by getting a deluxe version of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which, depending on which price that I actually looked at, is going to be $79.99 or $109.99. That's ridiculous. And I think it's also kind of funny because I think it shows that they knew that people weren't going to like Infinite Warfare, and the only reason that they would buy Infinite Warfare was so that people could also get Modern Warfare, which makes me laugh, but then it also makes me like, you guys knew this was going to happen, and you went with it anyway. Don't be like that. And, maybe further down the road, they might see that sales don't go great for Infinite Warfare, and they'll see a high demand for the new remastered Modern Warfare, and hopefully they'll release that as a separate thing. I certainly hope so, because I'd love to play that again. But yeah, not looking too great. A lot of people are also talking about how it's just not going to be a Call of Duty game with it being in space. It looks more like a Star Wars game or like a Halo game, and there's just not a love for it. And again, it makes me laugh because I just don't like Call of Duty games anymore. To see so many of their fans just disliking the game now, it's just like, this is what I wanted, but I'm also sad about it because of the Modern Warfare 4 or Modern Warfare, the fourth Call of Duty game, and that's also not like getting a whole lot of highlights. So I really wanted to make that a point talking about this. And then Battlefield 1 kind of just came out of nowhere. I didn't see anything about the Battlefield series coming out with a new game. I think it's actually really cool that they're doing it based off of World War One because you don't really see a lot of shooters based on World War One. It's like World War Two and up. So I think it'll give us a really cool perspective of that if we didn't pay attention in history class, like everyone else. Now we can actually go ahead and play it in another video game and learn something that we could have learned in school, but who wants to do that? Um, so far, multiplayer is going to be the same as for 64 people in one match. I think that'll be cool. A lot more emphasis with blades and hatchets and stuff, because you're also going to be using like World War One rifles, which took a little bit longer to reload than normal rifles, but there's also some gun customization, so it's not going to be like bringing a sword to a gunfight or bringing your really long 5-minute reload rifle to a cutlass fight and you're already dead on the ground.
Right.
But I think that's a really cool idea that they're bringing like hatchets and like attack shovels and cutlasses, and there's also going to be like bayonets on rifles, so while you're running through the trenches, you can just like stab a dude.
Yeah. Um, yeah, even though I'm not a fan of Call of Duty or Battlefield or really first person shooters for that matter. Um, but I still found this pretty fascinating. Um, some other people online have been basically saying, they don't have a whole lot of faith in Infinity Warfare. Is it Infinite Warfare or Infinity? Infinite
Infinite.
Warfare. So this is a sequel to, I'm guessing, Advanced Warfare, direct
Yes.
sequel. Made by Infinity Ward, the developers who made Modern Warfare 3.
Yes.
because they reformed and went through all of that stuff. Um, so yeah, I did find it interesting that they are doing they're doing a remake of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is a huge fan favorite in the COD community. Um, I probably would still they still play that, probably that version, even though there's uh, all these more recent versions of COD to play. And I I thought it was hilarious when Battlefield 1 dropped, and I thought, well, Battlefield 1, is that like a remake of the original Battlefield? And it's like, no, this is actually going to cover World War 1. And it's so weird because like in the mid 2000s, like about 10 years ago, we just had this glut of World War II shooters. Just we kept getting World War II shooter after World War II shooter after another, and people got burnt out on them for a little while. And that's when the first Modern Warfare came around. I think the first three Call of Duties were all World War II era. Is that correct? We'll
I
go
know
with
that the
it.
second one and the first one were. I don't know about three.
Okay. Um, I'm pretty sure that it was. It might have been like maybe a different recent war. Anyway, um, but but yeah, everyone got burnt out on that, so they kind of moved forward a little bit. And it's funny that things have kind of come full circle. That the game based on World War One, where, like you said, they have kind of outdated, vastly outdated weapons, or they won't be as easy to use as World War Two. Because World War One, that was the war that revolutionized warfare. That was the war that changed everything. And it didn't happen at the start of the war, it happened as the war progressed. So I'm wondering if they're going to reflect something like that, like you're going to, a battle that's done in 1915 will be different than one that's done in 1917. My dates might be way off for World War One, now that I think about it, but you get my drift. I mean, just
Yeah.
because things advanced at uh, such an accelerated rate, like I wonder if that's going to be reflected in the game at all. And as far as the remake goes, and them basically saying, oh, you're gonna have to buy these two games together. You're not going to be able to buy them separately, and we're going to charge you more for it. And there's no option to buy them separately. Um, Activision has been the king as far as sales go for first person shooters for a while. Um, but the funny thing is, people are going to buy it. They've
Oh yeah.
already said, people get online, they get on there, and they will go ahead and say things like, I know this is terrible. I'm so mad at EA for doing this, for forcing me to buy a game that I don't want to get a game that I do want, but I'm going to buy it anyway. Well, then you're part of the problem,
Yeah.
and you don't have a right to complain at that point. Like, it's like, just like, oh, just take my money, and it's like, okay, if you didn't do that, I guarantee you that they will at some point have that be like a downloadable only. Give it a few months, because that's just another way to grab the people that don't want to pay the full price. They will put it down as a download, um, and then they'll wait about a year and put it on disc for people who want a physical copy of just the Modern Warfare remake.
Yeah. And also, if you're not a fan with the way that the gameplay looks right now, or the way that you feel like it's gonna go in, just don't buy it. That's it. That's it. That's as simple as it can be. Like, if you complain about it, and like, not even for the Modern Warfare part, like if you're just gonna pay the normal like $60 to $70 for this game to come out and play it, and you're complaining about it, and you want something new to be changed, just don't buy it. If you want something new, or not even new, just different, or to go back a little bit, don't buy it. It'll send a
Right.
sign. It'll be like, cool, this isn't what they want. We messed up.
Yeah.
You keep buying it, and they're just going to be like, well, we're just going to keep making more and more stuff until it's Call of Duty. Oh, we just ran into a Spartan.
All of your complaining is not going to reach them. Not buying it will.
Yeah.
Each Call of Duty has had like less and less successful numbers. I don't know when it peaked, um, but each iteration that's come out, at least the last three, the sales numbers have been less and less. They've still been doing really well, but they're seeing a general decline in sales, and I think this is just them trying to get a shot in the arm, um, to get the sales going again, and it will sell from what I'm seeing, and it's just to me it's like you don't really have any room to complain at this point.